Alright guys, welcome to a new video, part 3 on the Honda 400EX. As you guys know, I picked this thing up for $1,100 a couple days ago. Last video we took it for a nice long ride. I was hoping maybe the smoking would go away with some ride time, but it did not. So today we're going to be digging into the carburetor, we're going to be changing the oil, we're going to be changing the fuel, and seeing if any of those things helps out the smoking problem. A lot of people in the comments were saying that maybe put some seafoam in it, maybe change the oil. Maybe the oil's too thin, it's getting past the seals. A lot of people were saying valve seals. I think it is personally the valve seals, so that requires the top end to be off the motor. And then you're probably going to need to change the rings as well when you're in there. I'm hoping today we can clean out the carburetor, change the fuel and the oil, and that will fix the problem. If not, we're going to be digging into the head and trying to solve the problem. But yeah, let's get started. We'll start taking apart the quad and really digging into it. Oh, and by the way, it started up instantly today. Last video I fixed the coil cable, so now it starts up instantly. Check this out. So I think the valves are pretty good. So I'm guessing the valves are in spec, but we're going to check those as well today since we're going to have the whole quad apart. Alright, let's check the oil here. As you guys know, I think in the first video I filled up the oil canister to, I think it was the middle mark. So let's see if it drained at all, because as you guys know, it's burning oil. So let's see how much it burned. Yeah, it's burning quite a bit. So it was right here before. I mean that's really low. Well, we definitely know where the oil is going. Straight out the back of the pipe. Alright, first thing we're going to do is clean out the carburetor. Alright, now we have access to the carburetor and the valves. Look how easy that was. So we took off the back plastics, the gas tank, the plastic piece underneath the gas tank, and then the gas tank cover, and we got access to everything. So this thing's pretty easy to work on, it looks like, so far. That thing is just huge. Look at the size of this carburetor on here. Man, that is massive. That is a chunky carburetor. Holy cow, that thing's huge. They weren't messing around with this thing. Alright, let's take a peek inside the carburetor, see what that looks like. Pretty clean looking. Looks like a 155 main right here. Alright, so 38 pilot. Pretty small. Alright guys, time to go on the ultrasonic cleaner along with those two parts down there. This just kind of speeds up the process and gets the hard to get places. So the ultrasonic cleaner, it like vibrates. So if there's anything stuck in these passageways, it'll vibrate those out and all the dirt and grime will get out of there. And then I use Simple Green solution in there. It's called Simple Green. I've got some right here. It looks like this. This is the stuff I use. It seems to be working pretty well. And then just water. So water and Simple Green. Just dump it in. We might have to do one half of the carburetor at a time. Pretty big carburetor. And I believe this is a 3.2 liter. So I've got it set to 70 degrees and then I usually let it go for like 15 minutes. We'll see what happens with that. But we're going to dump in all these other parts as well. So what I like to do is put all the jets and stuff in the bottom of the carburetor. Good to go. Alright guys, while we're waiting for the carburetor to clean, we're going to be checking the valves. These have never been taken off before. They are tight on there. I just got these two off using a handlebar. I'll show you guys what I did. So if you're having trouble getting something loose, grab an old pair of handlebars. Comes right off. The green handlebars work once again. Lifesaver. Alright, now we've got access to those. You can see all of them are open. Now we're going to set the top dead center using the little gauge down here, you can take these two things out, and then you're going to be able to twist it to the T, which is tapped dead center, and then you'll be able to see what the specs are. Alright guys, just looked in the forum. The valve should have 0.005 inches of clearance on the exhaust valves and 0.004 inches of clearance on the intake valves. I've got my gauges right here, 0.004, 0.005. We're going to be using these two to test it out. Alright guys, we have to get these two guys off of here. One is to rotate the engine. You always rotate the engine counterclockwise, and then the other one is to see the mark. So you want to find the T mark, and you want to have play on all four of the valves up here. So if they're tight, keep on rotating the engine until you hit the other T mark. And that's how you know you're at top dead center. So let's do that. I don't think this motor's ever been apart. Everything's like rock solid on it. Every single bolt is like just so tight. Now we're going to take a 17mm and rotate the engine counterclockwise. Alright guys, look, I'll try to show you guys the T in there. I don't think I'm going to be able to though. So there's a T mark right there, and you line it up with the little groove in the cover, which is right there. And as you can see, all the valves on the top have a little bit of play. You can see that play in them? All of them have that, except this one. So that one might be out of alignment. Another way to check that it's top dead center is just stick a screwdriver down the spark plug hole and make sure that the piston's all the way to the top of the cylinder. Alright, time to check the clearances. We're at top dead center, 100% at top dead center. There's play in each of these. Double checked. I went around again to the T to make sure, and it was hard. So these were tight. When you went around again to the T, another 360 rotation. So I went again and checked it. So we are at top dead center. Let's take a look at the specs again. Alright, so the intake valve should have 0.004 inches of play. You can see that's 0.004. So these are the intake valves. The intake valves are the ones on the carburetor side, in case you're new to things. So just check this. So that fits under there. Pretty tight, but it's supposed to be tight. So one more time. There we go. You can see that fits underneath there. Let's check this one. This one feels tight, so it's probably not going to fit underneath there. This one has a little bit of play. So let's try to see if we can get it in there. Yeah, that one's not going to fit, so we need to adjust this one. Here. Feels pretty good right there. Alright, that one's good. Now for the exhaust side, we're using 0.005 inches, which is right there. Hard to see the number on it, but alright, those are perfect. Those are 0.005, both of them, with no play left over. Alright guys, next up is oil change. Oil on this 4-stroke is a little bit different than the 2-stroke, so let me walk you through it. So it's got oil going into here. This is where you add the oil. And there's a drain down here, drain plug, right there. It's got like a little twisty thing on it, and then there's another drain plug right by the engine. I'll see if I can show you guys. Right there. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's right underneath the shifter. So on the 400EX, that's where the drain plug is. It's not underneath the motor. And then so we're gonna drain this one first, then drain this one, and then we can change it. All right, and then the oil filter's right here, and there's a process to take that out as well. There's a spring in there, and then there's a seal that has to be facing out. So we'll go through that whole process, but let's drain the oil and see what that looks like. Alright, got some oil draining out of there. Doesn't look too bad, but it's probably really thin. I don't think it's ever been changed before. So we'll see. Next we'll drain out the crankcase oil after that. Alright, that oil's all drained from there. Now the crankcase oil. Alright, that's draining out pretty good. Ooh, there we go. Lots of oil in there, and then we have to go on to the filter. But yeah, it's coming along. And we've got some Lucas oil right here. 10 W40 to put in there for wet clutches. So that should work out pretty well. Alright, let's see what the oil filter looks like here. Alright, so there's that little spring I just took out in there. If you guys saw that, it goes right in there, and then this filter sits this way in there. Alright, we're going to dump in 1.95 quarts of oil. Alright, oil's all in there. Good to go. Let's see how the carburetor's doing. Alright guys, this is what the carburetor looks like after being in the ultrasonic cleaner. for about 20 minutes. You can see it's all clean. Pretty much looks brand new. So I highly recommend you get an ultrasonic cleaner. I was able to work on the rest of the quad while this was just sitting in there, and then I blew it out with the air compressor. That's all I had to do. So, pretty easy. Alright, carburetor is back installed. We're going to drain the old gas out of the tank and replace it, and then give it the first start. Alright, gas is in it, fresh gas. Valves are checked, clearances are perfect. Brand new oil in it, so we should be good to go. Let's see if it still smokes. I'm guessing it probably will, but then we have to take off the top end and then check those valve seals. But let's just hope it doesn't smoke. Maybe it was something with the carburetor or the valves. Who knows? We'll see. Probably gonna smoke for a while until all the oil's burned off, but once all that new oil is rotating through, it should stop, I would think, for at least a little bit, because the oil's so much thicker. But we'll have to see here. Somebody pointed out last video that there's a slight exhaust leak right here, and I see that coming out right there. So thanks for that comment. We can try to fix that later. But right now all the oil's getting pumped in. So we'll see if it changes here. I'll keep on revving it out a little bit. Honestly, it might be smoking more. Oh boy. We'll rip it around for a little bit and check back. Alright, let's take it for a little ride. Thing just rips. is pretty bad on it. Probably fix that too. Alright guys, got back from the ride. The quad's still smoking pretty good, so I'm thinking it's gotta be the valve seals, but we'll start digging into it next video. I want to give a huge shout out to Mike G Beats on YouTube. You can see his channel right there. He's got 915 subscribers right now. Let's get him past that 1,000 mark. He's got some music comedy videos on there, so definitely go check him out. And look forward to the next video on this beast. It should be pretty fun digging into the top end here. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And until next time, we are out.